cutting sugar from your diet, like refined white sugar, doesn't matter what you say after that. Just do that.
If you tell people that through cutting sugar, or any other change by the way, that in 1 to 2 weeks they can expect to lose at least 13 pounds, you are categorically setting them up for failure. Insanity. Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for the RP Strength YouTube channel. I have a PhD in sport physiology. I have taught exercise, behavior. I have taught nutrition at all levels. I have taught personal training program design and personal training nutrition enhancement at the Division I university level for a long time. So I'm a little teeny tiny bit of a junior league pretend expert. And that puts me leagues ahead of Dr. Berg, who is a doctor of some sort, no doubt, but likes to say things that have a little bit of a grain of truth and a lot of bit of total BS. So one of his videos has 15 million views, I think, of the health benefits of cutting sugar from your diet. That video is mostly bullshit. I've tried to become more kind and courteous. I think it's really good. And
I'll just interrupt you right there. Cutting sugar from your diet, like refined white sugar, doesn't matter what you say after that. Just do that. It doesn't matter. Whatever reasons are said, whether they are false or not, cutting sugar is 100% always a good idea. There's no excuse and no reason why you would need or depend on refined white sugar. None. Zero.
And really trying to understand different perspectives, not just trying to dog on people and be, sarcastic all the time. But at the same time, my patience for what I like to call bordering on or over the border of quack doctors has worn very, very thin. So I'm going to clap back and we're going to go through a very, very popular video. It's a very short video of, what is it, Scott? The 9 things they're going to change about you within 2 weeks of cutting out your sugar.
If you completely gave up sugar for 2 weeks, the first thing you would notice is the shape of your face would change. It would go from being more roundish or puffy to a thinner face.
Will your face actually de-bloat from 2 weeks of reducing your sugar? The answer is, if you don't replace that sugar with fat calories, protein calories, or just other carbohydrates which aren't sugar, like those found in rice, pasta, bread, so on and so forth, the answer is a teeny bit. Your face is likely to de-bloat because high calorie and high carb diets can cause a little bit of...
Who cares about the reason? He just agreed. Yes, can de-bloat. Who cares? Let's move on.
Cause a little bit of low-key inflammation, and you lose a little bit of water if you cut calories really hard. So yes, that's absolutely a thing. But that doesn't mean you're losing hardly any fat. You're losing a very tiny amount of fat. And dropping 75 to 150 grams of added sugar is a 300 to 600 calorie daily deficit over 2 weeks. That really is like just 2 pounds potentially of tissue, most of that being fat. And so 2 pounds from your whole body, and if you weigh 200 pounds, now you weigh 198. It's not like anyone's going to be like, oh my God, your face is so much leaner. You might be de-bloated a little bit, but that is short term. And if you cut your sugar, but you increase your fat consumption or you increase your carb consumption from grains, then you actually will get possibly no de-bloating at all. So this is one of these things that if you promise people, hey, you're going to de-bloat, and after 2 weeks, the vast majority...
Don't think he was making any promises, Dr. Berg. I really don't know how you guys listen to this guy. I'm only putting myself through it so I could actually respond if he has any points of validation. But there's really no point. His diatribe is that he agrees with him, even if just in a tiny bit. From the looks of his jughead, he could probably cut back on sugar too.
The vast majority of people that have cut out sugar and are in not in a calorie deficit, or even if they are in a calorie deficit, they're going to be highly underwhelmed. So don't go looking around and thinking, oh man, this is a big deal. In many cases, your face will de-bloat a lot if you spend months and months with healthy foods, high physical activity, and a sustained calorie deficit. That definitely works. 2 weeks in, it's going to be a whole lot of disappointment in most people's case. All right. Let's go to the...
You shouldn't be looking at anything for 2 weeks of results anyway. You shouldn't be looking for weight loss. You shouldn't be looking for de-bloated face. You should be looking for a lifestyle change. So whether or not Dr. Berg mentions that these things may happen in 2 weeks, and whether this jughead wants to like comment about them all maybe happening, but maybe not within 2 weeks, and you shouldn't promise people, it's just really clickbait. I mean, honestly, I'm not impressed with his assessment at all. And you should cut sugar. Period.
Good God. Scott, this is off to a fucking start. So improves your eyes / brains / arteries / kidneys. I guess we'll do the brain thing at the same time. Let's get through the brain. We have an exact visual replica of the human brain. It really does light up like that in the real world.
The nerves in the brain. When you decrease sugar out of your diet, your nerves start healing up. Memory is better, your focus is better, and your concentration is much better.
So, fewer spikes of glucose post-ingestion of high doses of sugar definitely reduce your triglycerides and your oxidative stress, for sure. And a longer-term, lower consumption of sugar-sweetened beverages like sodas and juices definitely is going to decrease cardiovascular disease risk and actually give you all those benefits he talked about.
Okay, so here he is, number 2, agreeing with it, whether on the same degree of agreeing or not. They may be on various parts of the spectrum of agreement. He is agreeing.
However, retinal vessels, arterial plaque, kidney nephron function, and all of the brain stuff, especially the brain stuff, remodel over months and years, where you lose lots of body fat and body weight through controlling your calories, and not like 2 weeks. It's just not going to measure out in 2 weeks. You will not see better in 2 weeks. That is ludicrous. It's a ludicrous proposition. 1 out of 100 people will see better in 2 weeks just by pure chance. And
Okay, hold on. You won't see better within 2 weeks. Oh, but 1 in 100 might see better, but only by pure chance. I don't understand the argument. Like, cutting sugar is beneficial in a myriad of ways, a plethora of ways, actually. I believe it depends on the instance. Like, we're not running studies on whether or not the impacts are received within 2 weeks. Everyone's going to be different. But across the board, it is nearly undisputable that cutting sugar will have a net benefit long term. You might have wicked withdrawals. You might really struggle. But that's where no pain, no gain comes in. No sugar is great. And I think at this point, he's just looking for argument's sake.
Improvements in blood pressure control, sleep, exercise, micronutrient intake, actually eating a healthy diet are the big ones here. Sugar is a Lego brick, but you don't even have to cut sugar if you cut calories from extra fats, and that caloric deficit will lead to the identical benefits as cutting sugar. So when he says you cut sugar, you get all these benefits, not
100%
only is that
not. Identical benefits, 100% not. Because cutting that, this is where calories in, calories out is complete bullshit. Sugar in and of itself has nasty ramifications. It doesn't matter if you cut your calories to the same amount that you would if you reduce sugar, but you don't reduce sugar. That's bullshit. Cutting sugar has its own benefits. And you know what? Do it and see. Like, this is a guy who consumes a fair amount of sugar, I can tell.
Not only is that not true in 2 weeks, you don't even have to cut sugar for this to be true, and it can only be true over the long term. So it's a great lifelong play to cut calories from excess sugar and excess fat, but the 2-week payoff is so microscopic you will never even notice. Why am I harping on this? And I will say this about another.
Why are you harping on it?
If you set people up with expectations for what it's like to cut sugar for 2 weeks, and 99 of 100 of them meet 0 of the expectations, you're going to get people to get really disappointed and to more highly likely than not, just stop trying to improve their diets because, I tried dieting, Dr. Berg's sugar thing. I didn't feel anything, so I stopped. It's all BS.
Great. So let's lower the bar and just hold their hands for 10 years when they are creating pre-diabetic exacerbation, and they're rotting out their insides and their brain and ruining their relationships because they can't emotionally regulate. Let's hold their hand and let them try a very small, incremental, tiny gradients each and every day. So it'll take 10 years to get where you can get in 6 months. It's really sickening to imagine that this is how you spend your time. Like, yeah, you can hold somebody's hand one-on-one. The masses should just buck up and listen. If you cannot hack it, then you don't get the results. That's it. This, they'll fail within 2 weeks. Dr. Berg is giving a list of potential benefits as a general guideline for what you can look forward to in cutting sugar. You won't even notice any benefits. They'll probably only be in misery and have hankerings and sweet tooth for 2 weeks. But after 2 weeks, when it starts to get out of your system just a little bit, you'll start to see clearer, and then you will see benefits as long as you stick to it. If you don't stick to it, then too bad for you. This guy annoys me to no end because he's just wanting to be argumentative with pretty decent, solid insight. Is 2 weeks accurate? Maybe not. But the information in general would benefit most people.
Well, it's not all BS. Some really good stuff in here, but the promises can outweigh some.
I didn't hear him promising.
If you're like Scott, the video guy, and you are like a 9 out of 10, just total sex machine, like you can please the ladies, you can easily create disappointment if you go home with a girl from the club consensually, everyone's using protection, and you're like, I'm the greatest person to ever have sex with anyone. Sure enough, you're almost certainly going to disappoint. You don't have to make these crazy bombastic allegations to just do a good job. In and out a few times, you smoke a cigarette, you fuck off. You never talk to that person again. It's that simple. 2 weeks does almost nothing for almost everything, and it's just not a good idea to tell people things that are not true.
That's actually not true at all. 2 weeks can absolutely transform someone's life. This is how. I can't even watch the rest of this. It's only halfway through, but this guy's so full of shit. And because he's worked one-on-one with people, he sees different results for the masses. If you can do something for 2 weeks, you can do something for 6 weeks. And if you can do something for 6 weeks, you can do something for 8 months. And if you can do something for 8 months, you can do something for 2 years. And if you can do something for 2 years, you can do something for the rest of your life. If you live to be 100 or 120 or 150, like me, happy-go-lucky, if you can do something for 2 weeks, you can build momentum. You can shift how you hold your identity within your mind, within your mindset. You can build momentum, and each and every day, 2 weeks, if you play your cards right, if you have people in your corner, if you have support, if you have a guide or a coach or somebody who's got your back, if you can do something for 2 weeks, you can continue doing it on the 15th day, the 16th day, the 17th day. And that is not to be underestimated. This guy's treating you all like you can't do anything for 20 minutes. And if you can't, then you know what? Continue at your level of mediocrity. That's where the masses are. But if you want something different, if you want to really make substantial changes in your life and create wellness habits that will not only enrich your life, but enrich the lives of everyone around you, your parents, your siblings, your partner, your colleague, your children. If you want to make that impact, then focus on the 2 weeks. And when the 2 weeks is up, focus on the next 4 weeks. And when that 6 weeks is up, focus on the next 6.5 months. Pick your milestones, but there's nothing wrong with expecting massive change in 2 weeks. Nothing. Because change can happen in an instant. Just like that. As a man thinketh, he become. If you believe you can do that, each and every day building up for 2 weeks is a massive amount of momentum. Focus on what you can focus on. Cutting sugar is massive. And if you feel like people are overhyping it and like it can't be that substantial, do it. Try it. And not just for 2 weeks. Do it for 2 weeks. Do it for 6 weeks. Do it for 6 months. And after that amount of time, in my experience, because I was someone who many years ago cut sugar completely out of my life, and I saw instant benefits. And they only have increased since. So I might be that 1 out of 100. But you could be that 1 out of 100. There's 99 people out here watching or listening to this BS saying, yeah, no, I'm not giving it up. You could be that 1 out of 100 that not only see drastic changes in your overall trajectory of your life, but in those first 2 weeks. Let's get her done.